I'm going to simplify these complex fractions, and in order to simplify complex fraction, which is just a fraction over another fraction, it's really important that you determine where the original fraction bar is. So I have outlined those. Here's why it's so important. I am going to make a fraction. Let me move this down a little bit. I'm going to make a fraction here, and everything that's on the outside is going to go on the top of that fraction that I made. So I have 7ab squared and 5c cubed d squared. Everything on the inside goes on the bottom. So I've got 15c squared d, and I've got 28b to the fourth. Okay, so now I want to deal with my numbers themselves. Actually, let me do this. In the numerator, I have a 7 and a 5. So you're multiplying here. 7 times 5 is 35. Also in the numerator, I have an A. I have 2 B's. I have 3 C's and 2 D's. In the denominator, my numbers themselves are 15 and 28. 15 and 28. So you do have to multiply those. So 15 times 28 is 420. Oops, sorry about that. And I don't have any A's. For my B's, I have 4 of them. For my C's, I have 2 of them. And for my D's, I have 1. Now, you want to simplify this fraction. So we're going to act as if this says 35 over 420. I don't think that comes out evenly. 420 to 35 divided by 420 is not even. So what I'm going to do is divide both of these by 7. So 35 divided by 7 is 5. And 420 divided by 7 is 60. Well, that can still keep going, because we can divide, oops, sorry, I didn't know that was so large. Let me try that again. 5 over 60, we can divide those by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 60 divided by 5 is 12. So 1 over 12 is part of my answer. Now I deal with the variables. I do one letter at a time. For my A, I have 1 on the top. For my B's, I have top and bottom. So here's what you do in that situation. You want to look at the exponents, and wherever the largest exponent is where you place your B. So I have a 2 and a 4. The largest exponent is 4. That's on the bottom, so I'm going to place my B on the bottom, and then you subtract the exponents. 4 take away 2 is 2. For my C's, I have a 3 and a 2. So that biggest exponent's on the top. So my C is going to be on the top. And then 3 take away 2 is 1. But if the exponent's 1, you don't have to put it. For my D's, I have 2. And if there is no exponent, it's assumed to be a 1. So my largest exponent is on the top, which means my D is going to be on the top. 2 take away 1 is 1. So this is the final answer. And you could technically write that without the 1 in front. You could put ACD over 12b squared. Okay, you just have to take it a piece at a time. The outside terms go on the top. So 14 r cubed s, I'm going to put a 1 there, and 12q to the 4th. The inside ones go on the bottom. So 3p cubed, 3p, I'm going to put a 1, cubed to the 3rd, and 7r to the 5th, s to the 3rd. Okay. You can simplify before you multiply for the fractions. Let me show you what I mean by that. 14 and 7, you can simplify that because 14 divided by 7 is 2. So you could cross that out and put a 2. 14 divided by 7 is 2. We can also do the same thing with the 12. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that means on the top we have 2 times 4, which is 8. On the bottom, well, those canceled out, so all we're going to have here is an 8 on the top. Okay, now for my letters. For my r's, I have a 3 and a 5. So the biggest r is on the bottom, which means my r is going to be on the bottom. Then you subtract. 5 take away 3 is 2. For my s, I have a 1 and a 3. The biggest s is on the bottom, so I'm going to put my s on the bottom and subtract. 3 take away 1 is 2. For my q's, I have a 4 and a 3. So the biggest one's on top, which means my q is going to be on the top. Subtract 4 take away 3 is 1, but if it's 1, you don't need to put it with the exponent. Now there's one variable that I haven't done, this p here, and there is no p on the top to work with that, so it just stays where it's at, and I can take the 1 away from the exponent at this point. So make sure I've got everything, yes. So that's going to be the final answer. Outside on the top, 3 r to the 4th, s cubed, 7 p to the 1st, q squared. Inside goes on the bottom, 14 q to the 4th, and 6 r to the 3rd, s to the 1st. And I think that's it. Okay. If you didn't understand what I was doing with the simplifying here earlier, you can go ahead and just multiply these out. Sometimes I think that's faster than just messing with them. 3 times 7 is 21. And 14 times 6, oops, let me change that. Is 84. I can actually divide that by 21, I believe. Okay, 21 divided by 21 is 1, and 84 divided by 21 is 4. So that actually did work out pretty good. Okay, now for the letters. I just start and work my way through whatever they have listed here. So for my r's, I have 4 and 3. So the biggest r is on the top, so I put my r on the top, and then 4 take away 3 is 1. For my s's, I have 3 and 1. biggest one's on the top, so my S stays on the top. Subtract 3, take away 1 is 2. For my P's, I only have one P, and that's on the top. So just write it on the top, and you can take the exponent away because it's a 1. For my Q's, I have 2 and a 4. The biggest Q is on the bottom, so my Q is going to be on the bottom. And then 4 take away 2 is 2. And I think that takes care of all of them. Yep.